Hey everybody, welcome to Kyle Not Kyle Show. I'm Kyle.
I'm not Kyle.
And we are doing our Week 10 review, Week 11 preview of the 2019 NFL season. We're going to get right into it with Week 10. We're going to start with the Thursday night game, the LA Chargers at the Oakland Raiders. This was a classic AFC West game. I loved watching this game. It was a great way to start Week 10 of the NFL. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm happy because Raiders didn't let me down.
I would love to see this stat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe I have ever seen a quarterback throw more picks in the end zone than Philip Rivers.
I
think he does half dozen of those every year.
Yeah. Yeah, that was.
I texted you that. He was giving me blood pressure.
Yeah.
I can't. All I know is after watching that game, I just went, I don't want to hear is Philip Rivers a Hall of Famer? I just don't want to hear it.
No.
It's like, no. How do you have that many? This year alone, he's had 3 interceptions in the end zone.
Yeah.
In the end zone.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I go, what's the guy's name? Schottenheimer. Or who's the new?
The new offensive coordinator. I can't think of the name. I know who you're talking about, though.
But I was just going, why are you throwing the ball in the end zone anyways?
Yeah.
They were gashing. They were gashing the Raiders on the run. I was just like, come on.
Yeah. Melvin Gordon averaged 4.9 yards per rush, and Eckler on 6 attempts averaged 3.2. Why are you throwing there?
The other thing is, he wasn't that guy. The defensive back, I think it was Harris. I think it was. He had Rivers' number.
Oh my gosh!
Rivers wasn't
that
even looking
stat
him off.
line is
just. It was. I hate saying this way, but it was like it's same old Chargers.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? This is what's going to happen. It's going to be Week 16, and they're going to be playing the Chiefs. And they're going to need to win to make the playoffs. And they blew 4 games earlier in the season that they wouldn't have been having this kind. It's like, it's so frustrating. So frustrating.
No, I agree.
But what are you going to do? It was a good game. It was a good game.
It was. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And David Carr is playing good. He's playing good.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, and it helps because he has a running back that he can hand the ball off to, and he isn't, he's not being forced to. I have to throw it because there's no one to catch it. He has.
What I thought was interesting, and I forget who actually said it, was that offense is designed to have Antonio Brown in it.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to fill in that position. But I was just sitting there after he said that. I went, how good would they be right now?
Oh, man.
If Antonio Brown was there. And I was just going, moron, just absolutely screwed everything up.
Oh, yeah.
Organization.
Oh, yeah.
I remember at the time when they were doing it, it was like, he's a head case. Don't get involved. Don't pick him up. And then I just go, okay, so let's say they didn't pick him up. Let's say they went after somebody else. Because they didn't go after anybody else once they signed.
No.
And I'm going, okay. Because I think that's all they are away.
Oh, I agree.
Defense looks good. And I now you can see the fruits of all those first-round guys they picked.
Yep.
You got rid of Khalil Mack, and you got rid of
Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No.
All those were odd things to get rid of, odd guys to get rid of. Because they're good. It was. It's going to pay dividends.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. This wide receiver, I think it was Daniel Jeremiah was talking. He's the scout, has the Move the Sticks podcast. Anyone watching, if you like NFL draft stuff, I highly recommend the Move the Sticks podcast with Daniel Jeremiah. This guy knows his stuff. He's a former NFL scout. He said that this is the best wide receiver class he has ever seen before. He said, like, top to bottom, he said there's going to be a lot of high picks at the wide receiver position.
Upcoming year?
Yeah, this upcoming draft class.
Okay.
The 2020 draft class, he said it's loaded at the wide receiver position. So that's that's good news for the Raiders. When they hired Gruden and gave him the 10-year contract, you and I both, we were just laughing like, oh my gosh, you're gonna saddle yourself to this guy for 10 years. What are you doing?
I didn't know. I wasn't laughing.
Well, I was. Okay.
Well,
you were hesitant. I was laughing.
Yeah, my whole thing was the game has changed.
Yeah.
But he seemed to have been able to adapt.
He seems to be doing just fine. That's the thing is Antonio Brown messing them up. Other coaches they'd be scrambling. Oh, I got to trade for everyone I can to fill this hole. He's more of a, we're going to protect. We have assets. We're going to use them in the offseason in the draft, and we're just going to plug someone else. We're going to fill that slot maybe with several guys. But it's not he knows he's locked in because if they fire him, he gets so much percent of an ownership stake.
They're not going to fire him.
I'm not saying they're going to. I'm saying if that, in other cases that may have been a possibility, but here I don't think it is.
No, not at all. And I think them going out and getting Mayock was genius.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, is he a good evaluator of talent? I would say yes.
Yeah, so far it seems to be.
Yes. Other teams would kill to get him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and I think, everyone thought, oh, you got the TV broadcast duo at GM and head coach. Well, so far it seems to be doing good. So yeah, like I said, I'm continuing to slowly creep on to that Raiders hype train. After so many years of watching them, I'm like, I'm real super hesitant. Like, okay, yeah, you got to prove it again. Okay, you won now. You got to prove it again. But yeah,
I think the other thing I saw was they're the youngest team.
Yes. Yeah. So that bodes well for them. All right, moving on. We're going to move on to the Panthers at Packers. Packers won. See, that was final score was 24-16. They tried to make a game of it. They tried to get close, but it just wasn't enough. Packers look pretty dominant throughout.
They're losing guys on their defense though. They haven't played their entire starting defense for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
That was I said it last week. I wasn't expecting anybody to come in there and beat them.
No.
So
and honestly,
losses than away losses. That's like somebody going, oh, they're going to go into New England's going to lose 2 or 3 times at home this year. You're like, oh, really? They are they? Yeah. Maybe on the road, but at home, oh, really?
Yeah.
The Packers remind me of that. They might have a loss.
Yeah, maybe one home loss.
Possibly 2 in the season at home. Yeah. But other than that, their losses are going to come away. So
yeah, no. And honestly, Kyle Allen, he did just fine. 28-43 for 307 yards. He averaged 11 yards a throw, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He got the 3 sacks, but that offensive line has always had issues. Everybody knows this offense goes through McCaffrey right now.
That's the problem. You can't
as everybody knows.
Through a running back. It's got to go through a quarterback. It cannot be going through a running back. The days of Earl Campbell are over.
Right. I agree.
I hope they don't wear him out.
Me too. This guy he's so fun to watch. What was it? Where did that go? Aaron Rodgers didn't throw for any touchdowns, but that's okay because Jones had 3 touchdowns rushing. But he threw for 233, 17-29. He was sacked twice, averaged 13.7 yards. Devontae Adams. I'm just now looking at Devontae Adams' stat line. 7 receptions on 10 targets for 118 yards, an average of 16.9 yards per catch. I think he likes having him back. because he was hurt. He was out with turf toe for, what was that, 4 weeks?
Yeah, something like that. But the running back got it done. That's what I was saying before. I think they play the most mistake-free of all the teams I've watched so far this year. The Packers are the most mistake. They make them. They just make the mistakes. You can beat them. I mean, Philadelphia beat them.
The Chargers beat them.
Well, that was one of those. You just kept waiting for them to get going, and it was like,
and it just kept breaking the other team's way. I was like, whoa. Yeah.
It was a good game.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to stay in the NFC North. We're going to go to an interdivisional matchup. We have the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears.
This one, and that's why I changed this. As soon as Stafford was out.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't know if the Lions beat anybody if Stafford's out. It's like, come on.
And you know, for people who don't know, we have a rule. Once we post this video, barring a major injury, something like that, you know, like on the likes of Matthew Stafford being unavailable, our picks are locked in. So we do allow the change if it's a last minute. Oh, someone's out. Like, you know, if hey, you know, Edelman's out because, you know, he got arrested the day of, or, you know, just something like that. You know, oh, broke a leg in practice. We can change our picks on that. Which I did not. I would have changed because I picked the Niners. I would have changed to the Seahawks. I did not realize until after the game had started that Kittle was not playing. He was out with an injury.
He was questionable all up until game time.
Yeah, no, he was. But everything I had seen so far, it seemed like it was leaning towards him playing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, crud. Oh, well. So I took that loss. But anyway, back to the Lions Bears. Bears at home. I had already picked the Bears at home because of that defense. And then as soon as I saw Stafford was out, I'm like, oh, this is.
Well, then Trubisky played his best game, I think, of his career.
Yeah. Yeah. Where did that go? Yeah. He was 16 of 23 for 173 yards, 3 touchdowns. He took 5 sacks, but, you know, it's his quarterback rating was in the hundreds. It was like 130 something. So definitely the best game of his career. I had no issues. He seemed fine in that game. You know, he's got a good receiving core. He has a decent rushing attack with Montgomery and Cohen. With Gabriel and Robinson.
Going back to what we were saying in the last game about it's got to run through the quarterback. That is the problem in Chicago.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. That game went about as I expected it to. I didn't really have any comments about this game because I figured Detroit would lose, and I figured the Bears. I thought it would be more because of a defensive performance than anything. Well, it
was as soon as Stafford was out. The guy that came in.
Stafford didn't even play.
Yeah, but I mean, as soon as he was out, I was going, this isn't even going to be a game. And it really wasn't.
No.
Pretty lopsided.
Yeah. So, we're going to move on to a game that I think a lot of people were kind of surprised by the outcome of this one. You'd picked the Browns, hadn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I foolishly went with the Bills. Buffalo lost 19-16 or 16-19, however you want to say it. I'm going to be curious to see how Cleveland moves on from this game. Like, is this what they need? Is
this? They play tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking they were playing Sunday. I'm curious to see, is this the thing that kickstarts that offense, gets them going back in the right direction? Mayfield 26 of 38, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns. You can't complain. Chubb had 116 yards rushing. Slowly they worked Kareem Hunt back into it. 4 carries for 30 yards.
And the Bills are here's my one gripe so far.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the schedule is the schedule. You can't do anything about it. The Bills are a weaker version of the Patriots. My concern is the Bills because they still have, I believe they still have Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Giants could beat them. I do. But they got the Giants. Then they got the Jets again and the Dolphins again. So let's say they win those 4 games, which I wouldn't be shocked if they're going to walk into a wild card and probably get their asses handed.
Kind of like they did when they played Jacksonville a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm just going, okay, this is – you can't – because the schedule is – the difference to me is New England's in it every year. Mm-hmm. You can say that their schedule is weak this year and they've lost to the one decent team they've faced, but they're in it every single year. Mm-hmm. The Bills being in it are like, how are the Bills in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I hope that they lose a couple of those games so they're not in the mix. So a team like, I mean, if I'm just saying it this way, I would much rather have the first game of the playoffs, the wild card weekend, have the Raiders or the Browns.
Which the Raiders are only a half a game out of the AFC West.
They play the Chiefs in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But my point is, I'd rather see them in it because you could go, they're a long shot, but you wouldn't count them out. The Bills, I'm just going, there's no way they're going to the Super Bowl. It's just, no. And by some weird reason, if every quarterback they play in the playoffs goes out the first play on offense, so the Bills make it to the Super Bowl, is anybody going to pick the Bills to go beat whatever NFC team goes to the Super Bowl? It's like, no, they shouldn't be in this. This is one of those, the ball bounced left rather than right. And I think the Bills have potential in the future. Oh, yeah. I hate the fact that they're in it right now.
Yeah. No, I agree. Moving on to a team with potential at the quarterback position, we have the Rams at the Steelers. I liked Mason Rudolph going into the draft, and I still like him now. He had a decent stat line, 22 of 38 for 242, 1 touchdown, no turnovers.
That was the 2 defenses. That's what that
was. Oh, yeah. It was a good game. I legitimately enjoyed watching that game. That was one of the games we watched most of it live, and I was just wow, this is a good game.
The thing is, it shouldn't have been a good game.
No.
The defending NFC champions going to play the Ben Roethlisbergerless Steelers. It's like that shouldn't have been a game.
Yep, I agree.
But it was.
Yep, and
I think not having Cooks is a problem.
I think so. And this was interesting. I didn't realize this during the game, and then I was looking afterwards. Cooper Kupp had 0 receptions. He was targeted 4 times. He had 0 receptions.
Yeah. Well, and they didn't run Gurley that much. I don't know what the deal is with Gurley. There's a lot not being said.
Yeah, he only got 12 rushes. What? He only rushed 12 times.
Yeah, I know.
And he had 4 targets. So yeah, I'm like, yikes.
That's a quarter or a half.
Yeah.
Not the game.
Yeah.
So that's hurt him too.
I agree. Yeah, and I do think part of it has to do with that tidbit that came out last year with, I think it was, they were playing the Saints, that the Saints realized that they would, teams would get in formation right off the bat, and McVay would feed Goff his read. Like, this is what the play is, or this is who you're going to look at first, and this and this.
That was the Bears.
Was it the Bears? Well, and then they realized that they stopped waiting to show what their formations were until after that 15-second mark. Yeah. Because then the headsets go off.
That's not happening this year. That's not happening at all.
No, but I think because they're having to get that stuff in quicker, and I think there's a little bit of adjustment struggle.
What's the adjustment struggle? Your number one running back's not in the backfield.
Well, it's him having to learn how to read defenses better than he already did, which I don't think he did very much. Well, that's just my thoughts on it. I agree. A big part of it is Gurley. You have a running back like that, you've got to run him.
Well, yeah, that's the. I mean, Goff's not. He's not. I think he's doing his progressions fine. I think he is. He's hitting his receivers. It's not like he's always throwing. He's not doing the Joe Flacco. I hit either my running back or my tight end, or I throw the ball down the field and hope somebody runs underneath it.
Right.
I just think he's that. Just he hasn't had his full complement since last year.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right, we're gonna move on to the Sunday night game.
This was a good game, man.
This was such a fascinating game.
There's a sound to me for each sport. In basketball, it's the basketball hitting nothing but net, that poof sound that is nothing net. And then in baseball, I like the wood sound, but I grew up in Little League with the baseball, the tink when that aluminum bat hits that thing, and helmets hitting helmets and pads hitting pads, that cracking sound. I heard that. I don't know if they were amplifying it. That was just the sound coming off there. Awesome.
Yeah, no, this is an amazing game.
And I am happy, to be perfectly honest with you, not because I'm a Giants fan or anything like that. I am happy that the Vikings won, because that to me said, okay, you did something you haven't been able to do before. It shut up a lot of people, because last year they couldn't have gone. They couldn't have gone into Dallas and beat Dallas.
No.
But this year they absolutely did, and I was hearing afterwards. I was watching some of the. It was on Good Morning Football, I think it was, and then reading some of the articles about the play calling, the last part of the play calling. I'm like, they're professional football teams. They think their plays are going to work. They don't think their plays are not going to work. Who goes, you know what? I don't think this play is going to work. How about I call the play that I don't think is going to work? I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is a stud. And I've seen Ezekiel Elliott run out of 3 or 4 tackles and rip one off for 30 yards. Well, he hasn't been doing that all night against the Vikings. It's just like, okay. So
no, he averaged 2.4 yards.
Right. Yeah. That defense was kicking his ass.
Yeah.
But all he'd have to do is rip one off, and no one says anything at that point. To me, it's always we're going to try to do how we lost, instead of just going, you lost to a better team.
Yeah.
You just lost to a better team. They were just as physical, in all those stages. Their defense was a little bit better than your defense. Their quarterback was better than your quarterback. Their offensive line was better than your offensive line.
Yeah.
Their running back was way better than your running back.
Yeah, right. No, my issue, because this is one thing. At the end of the game, they ran 2 straight read options.
Yeah.
And they handed off to Zeke both times. I was like, man, like this. Arguably, this was one of Dak's best games he's ever had. And they do that, and they don't put to me, honestly, it shows they still don't trust him. Almost the fact that they weren't willing to put the ball in his hands.
It wasn't some guy. It was the number 2 rushing running back from last year.
Yes, I understand that.
We're not going to have Brady throw the ball when they're inside the 20. We're going to give it to somebody else. It's like, that's the best guy on their team.
No, and I understand that, but you also have to face the fact that this defense is stopping the second leading rusher from last year.
Yes, until
and not just stopping him, they were stopping him very effectively.
Yeah, but in previous games, they weren't stopping guys.
Yes,
it's one of those things where you're gonna lean heavily on your dude. I always get irritated with it was the play calling. It's like, how is it the play calling? Did the guy not think? He obviously thinks the play was going to work. He wouldn't have played it. Unless we're going to get our asses kicked, so we're going to try some student body right, Hail Mary, left-handed throw thing. That's when I'm like, okay, you're. To me, in those instances, you're kind of acknowledging that you can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of do it. But that's my view on it.
Oh,
Vikings won. Bottom line, Vikings won.
Yeah.
And I think if they go into Minnesota, I think they win in Minnesota too.
Yeah.
I just think they could beat the Cowboys. I just think that they were a little more physical.
Yeah.
I do know having Van Der Esch back helped their defense out a lot.
Oh, there was a couple plays that Cook's going to cut, and he doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And I think it was Collinsworth who said there's like maybe 3 linebackers in the NFL that could make that play on Cooks by themselves. Said, and the Cowboys have 2 of them.
Yeah,
I mean, you and I have argued that I've talked about this before. I still think Van Der Esch and Smith are one of the best linebacker duos in the NFL.
Yeah, they got Lee as kind of an extra guy.
Right. And that's when you know you've got a good linebacker core. When a guy who, been talked about as one of the best linebackers of his time when he's healthy, is the extra.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had the last 2 games of the week were arguably 2 of the best games of the week.
That Monday night game was awesome. But it reminded me of so far of the top 5 games of the year so far. 2 of them have been Seattle games.
Yeah.
When they played the Rams at home and it was decided, Zerline missed the field goal.
Yeah.
And this one, I do think it would have been appropriate because I always wanted to know what would happen if a team tied one regular season game and then went literally undefeated for the rest of the time. Super Bowl. They're still undefeated, but how would that be looked at? I've always just the shit stirrer in me wants to see something.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Oh, that would be hilarious. Oh, man. Dang it. Now I really wish that had happened.
Well, and I've always wanted to see, too, this is just me. I've always wanted to see a tie record and a tie. So literally the last game of the season decides the outcome for the number 1 seed. That is never the case, really.
Yeah.
Especially in the same division.
Yeah.
And I mean like going, okay, so Seattle and the Niners are, what would that be? 13, 2-1. They're tied, and the last game of the season decides what it is. And they both got such a good record that it's for the number 1 seed. Number 1 seed or wild card. Because you know, I don't care what team you are, if that was the case where you're playing for the number 1 seed or a wild card, the last game of the season, and you don't win, I wouldn't want to be the team that has to face them first game.
No.
Because they're just going to be pissed and wanting to hurt people, and I was just like, oh,
right.
We should
I know.
Won.
Which I feel like that happened a couple years ago.
I don't remember it ever happening. Where it literally came down
not that, but where it was the last game of the season was going to determine if you got a bye or if you were traveling.
Oh, well, that happened.
The
Chargers and the Chiefs.
Yes, this last year.
But it didn't come down to the last game of the season.
No, it was like week 6.
And they hadn't tied. They had split. Yeah. They had split. So it didn't come down to but I mean it would be a tie. So the records would be identical going into the last game. So it's either we're number 1 seed or we're wild card.
Yeah. And and the NFL does have a scenario in that case where the regular season, if it did have a playoff implication for if someone went and someone didn't, I do believe that at that point they do forego it's just you go until someone scores and someone doesn't. If I remember correctly.
Strength of schedule and all. But my whole thing was usually they've split, or it's the last they've split, or it's the last game and they've got to tie it up to hopefully do. I mean, they tied. They lost to the same teams, or to whatever, however you want to do that, but it doesn't matter because the record would be different. And it'd be the last game.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see something like that because I was just going, that would be they would leave everything out there.
Yeah. That'd be a fun game.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, I wouldn't care who it was.
No, I don't think I would either.
Who it was.
I'm looking forward to the Seattle-San Francisco rematch. This is a good game.
Last week of the year? Oh, yeah. Oh, because I was looking at that going, that could be for a seed.
Yeah.
Because I think San Francisco's good. Don't get me wrong by anything I'm going to say. They have a hard schedule.
Oh, they have a very hard schedule. Hard schedule.
I think they're away. They've got a 3-game stretch.
And they're away for 2 of them.
Yeah, and it's like they've got to go to the Packers or the Ravens, and they're home for Atlanta, or they play, or not Atlanta, New Orleans, or they host. I think it's their. I think their home game is Green Bay. I think. Yeah, and it was one of those. You got away.
And it's in the middle.
Yeah. It was like one of those. Okay, this is just going to be hard.
Yeah.
Hard to keep it, but they can't. After the loss.
Yeah.
Seattle's 1 game behind them now. That's it. And Seattle has the tiebreaker, and they don't have the same. They haven't played the same amount of games.
No.
I was just going, oh baby, here it comes. And I think Seattle has this week off. I'm not sure.
I think so. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our Week 11 picks. What are our records?
We are both 37 and 26.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we've got a couple weeks coming up. Week 12, we've got 8 games. Week 13, we've got 11 games.
Oh, gee.
Week 14, we got 8 games. And week 15, we got 11 games. So hopefully we're not tied up at the
If we're tied up for 2 years straight, I'm just going to laugh.
The odds of that are pretty remote. But
right. Hey, still. Never tell me the odds. All right, so getting into the first game, I'll do the first 3, you do the last 3.
Well, I know we're not picking the same. I know we're not going to be on this one. We'll probably have a two game, maybe 3. I don't know.
Okay. All right, so I'll just go run down the list. So the Thursday night game, we have Steelers at Browns. I am taking the Steelers. I feel like.
Oh wow! Right off the bat, we're at odds. I'm taking the Browns.
Okay. See, my only because I was torn up about this, but my thing is Mike Tomlin has more experience getting a team ready on a short week. He's done more of this primetime stuff than Freddie Kitchens, and this is a divisional rivalry. I won't be shocked. This is one of those I won't be shocked if the Browns win, but I'm expecting the Steelers to win.
I'm expecting the Browns to win.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the Browns to now start making quiet waves.
Yeah. Hey, this would be a way to start.
They've got, I think they play, they've got 4 or 5 of their next games where you go, they could win a majority of those. And I think the Ravens are going to end up, unless something happens, they're going to end up taking that division. But wild cards in the AFC, 9-7 might get you. 8-8 might get you a wild card.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to our AFC matchup of the week. We have the Texans at Ravens.
Oh my gosh, this one. Oh, I want them both to win, or I want it to be a tie. This one's hard. This one's so hard. I'm taking the Ravens because they're at home, and that is the reason.
That's the only reason I'm taking them too.
And I am not going to be shocked if the Texans. No. I'm not going to be shocked if the Texans beat them by 14.
Yeah.
With right now, I think the Texans are going to have to go. They're going to be in. We got to score 45 points. Because not having Clowney and then losing Watt, they have no rush off the edge. Zero. Nothing. Yeah. You got Merciless coming in and being an edge guy most of the time now.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, I'm taking the Ravens. I would like.
No, I agree. I am taking the Ravens as well.
I'm going to take the Ravens.
Oh yeah, I would love to see the Texans win. All right, so our mixed game of the week, we have the Patriots at the Eagles. Obviously, I'm taking the Patriots.
I'm taking the Eagles. There's one reason why, and it's one of those. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. If Carson Wentz loses, then Nick Foles is on his back for the rest of his career.
Yep.
Forever. He will never get. This isn't anywhere near the magnitude of the Super Bowl. Not even close.
Yeah.
But this is the first time since that Super Bowl that he's played him. He's going to have to go out there and just be Superman, which either he's going to fall flat on his face.
Which wins are we getting this week?
No, exactly. And I think that it's that both what's his name too. He hasn't been head coach very long, but I don't think he's lost a game off a bye. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I hope it's a good game.
Yeah.
I hope it's not one of those the Patriots are in a lag or the Eagles are in a lag where it's I hope it's 23-24, something like that, 27-24.
Yeah. So one of the reasons I'm taking New England, not besides the fact that I'm a New England Patriots fan,
besides the fact that that's my team,
is Lane Johnson posted this as soon as the Ravens score was final. He posted, "Gonna have some fun at the Link in 2 weeks." He is still stuck on this idiotic take of his that he is having more fun winning 1 Super Bowl than if he was winning 5 and he'd be miserable.
Who is this?
Exactly. It's this guard that plays for the Eagles. He's been suspended for PEDs and stuff before. Yeah, after the Super Bowl win, he came out and he was doing an interview and he said, "I'd rather have more fun than win 1 Super Bowl than be miserable and win 5." And he posted that. So you know what I bet there's a players only entrance to the locker room. You know what's probably posted right outside that? In nice big block letters, that tweet. Bill is better than anyone else at giving his guys bulletin board material. We already do not like the Eagles. This is, in my opinion, this is just going to make us want this win even more.
Oh, and you think the Eagles like the Patriots?
Oh no, I don't. I know they don't like us.
Yeah, but who cares what a third? Well,
no, he's a starting guard. So, he's not a backup. He's a starter.
Okay, it doesn't. I don't think it's.
Patriot fans don't like this guy.
If you got to go for that for bulletin board material, as opposed to just pulling out the score of the Super Bowl or what happened last week, then
I think there's going to be plenty. Like I said, I think Patriots are going to rebound a little bit. They're going to take out. They've had 2 weeks to.
Oh, but Kyle,
get ready to pounce frustration.
If they lose, you are going to hear all the Patriots dynasty's over.
I've been hearing that for the last 4 years.
No. They were not 8-0 ever since they went undefeated. They haven't been 8-0. Never.
Yes, we did.
When were they 8-0?
2015. We started 8-0. We lost week 9.
Okay, 8-0 and lost week 9, and they were saying the Patriots dynasty's over. I don't remember that.
No, they were saying that clear back in 2014, the year before.
No. This year, because they've been saying it so often, two in the middle of the season, even though they will be 8-2, we'll be here. That's bulletin board material right there.
Oh yeah,
we're still on top of the AFC, and we're being told the dynasty's over. It's like that's
and then we're gonna have the media once again say, "Oh, well, we never said that." Yeah, you did. Let's go back and look at all your interview. Anytime you mentioned New England in the last 3 months.
Well, the other thing that I want, and I want this as an NFL fan. I don't want there to be going into week 15. New England doesn't have to play because they got the first round bye. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. As an NFL guy, no person who likes the NFL should ever like that. I want it to go to Week 16. I want every game to mean something. And if they can go, hey, look, we play 2 games, last 2 games of the season, they don't mean anything.
Yeah,
as an NFL as somebody who likes to watch those games, I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And I would be singing a different song if they had that wrapped up and their schedule wasn't that soft.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be a great game either way. I'm looking forward to it.
Either it'll be an ass whooping if we get the Wentz that can't throw the ball, or it's gonna be a good game if we get MVP wins.
Yeah. All right. So
I also hope
taking
the
the Eagles.
Factor. I also hope the weather's a factor. I love both. They're both outdoor teams.
Yep.
I want it to be that mix, and I've played in when it shifts between rain and snow. It's horrible. My God, it's awful. Right. But I love watching it.
It's great. It's great. I love that Packers game this week. I was only going to watch highlights, and all of a sudden I'm seeing this photo from the first quarter. It's sunny, or it's light out, and then third quarter rain or snow. Like, wait, what? All right.
The Washington Niner game was that way, but it was all wet.
Yeah,
it was raining like crazy.
Right. All right. Moving on to the NFC matchup, we have the Cowboys at Lions. I'm taking the Cowboys.
I am too.
Yeah. I don't. Especially if Stafford's out again. I haven't really seen anything yet. They don't really have a running game right now. They're on like their 5th string running back. I don't see them doing anything.
Well, it's dome. They're both domes.
Yeah.
I just think the Cowboys are a better team, and they're coming off a loss.
Yeah.
And they're tied with the Eagles.
Yeah.
So that's all. They need the wins.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people need the wins too, but they're getting farther and farther away from being able to make a move, especially in the NFC. The NFC is really tight.
Yeah, it really is.
Those top 3 or 4 spots are like, you're not getting it.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the Sunday night matchup. We have a rematch of Week 15. I think it was Week 15 of last year. Bears at Rams. That game last year was so insane. Oh, it was so low scoring. What was it, like 15-9 was the final score, I think.
Yeah, it was all field goals.
Yeah.
That was a defensive show.
Oh, it was a great defensive game. You know me, I love defense. I am taking the Bears. Just because I think, I don't know if Trubisky can string 2 back-to-back great games, but I have more faith in that Bears defense than I do the Rams defense. So I am going by the Bears. I will not be shocked too much if the Rams win, but I am going with the Bears.
I earlier today had the Rams, but I'm going to go with the Bears as well.
Okay. So we're both going with the Bears?
Yeah. And I don't want to do this next game. I didn't want to pick on this next game. I don't even want to. I want to move on to the following week because I believe if the Chiefs beat the Chargers season's over. It's done.
I agree.
It's done.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want the Chargers to win to give me false hope that they're going to be able to do something, and because then the following week they're going to lose, and then the Chiefs. The thing about the Titans' loss that the Chiefs suffered this last week, that was some weird stuff. They shouldn't have.
So weird.
I was just going, how are they losing? How did they lose? Their defense is still, man, it's just an average defense. Well, I wouldn't say it's an average defense. Let me take that back. It's a specific kind of defense.
Yep.
To play in a specific kind of way.
Yep.
And if that ever goes away, granted, when Mahomes is there, that defense can do what it needs to do because you're not shutting him. There's no way. I don't even know if it's possible for him to not have a touchdown in the game. I really don't. I was just going, I don't even know if that's possible.
Yeah.
As ridiculous as that sounds.
I agree. Okay, so who are you picking?
I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Chiefs as well. It's okay. It's all right. All right, so those are our picks. Let's run through it real fast. I'm picking the Steelers. Who are you picking?
I'm still trying to.
Would you like to work our way up the list? That way we can move on from this. Okay, I don't like this pause. So, all right, we're both picking the Chiefs. Sunday night, I'm picking the Bears. You are picking who?
I'm picking the Bears.
All right, I'm picking the Cowboys. You're picking?
Cowboys.
I'm picking the Patriots.
Eagles.
I'm picking the Ravens.
Ravens.
I'm picking the Steelers.
Browns.
All right, so we're going to have a two-way swing. Or maybe we'll be tied again.
Yeah, that's what seems to happen.
I will gladly lose the Steelers-Browns game. I will be a lot more pissed off if I lose the Patriots-Eagles game. All right, guys, so that's our picks for Week 11. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to leave your own picks in the comments down below. Give us a like on Facebook and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week.
I'm changing my pick.
No! Who are you changing it to?
I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Gosh!
I'm gonna take the Chargers. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, I can't do it. That is, of all these games, that's the most evenly matched game.
Yeah.
If the Chargers are playing the way they can, and the Chiefs are playing the way they can, last year they split.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. I'm not going to go through that spiel again. Give you a chance to change it. So we'll see you next week, guys.
3 game.